Well, good morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the foyer. Please, have a seat. I was thinking about something this week, and I'd like to talk to you about it. Since it's the Christmas season, and we celebrate the birth of Christ, it occurred to me that there are a lot of fascinating elements about his birth that I'd never thought of before. We're all familiar with the scriptural prophecies about the birth of the Messiah, but while studying them, I realized there are other signs of his divinity and mission that were present at his birth. Take, for example, the star. When the 3 wise men from the east went to King Herod, they said, "Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him." And when they heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them, till it came and stood over where the young child was. On the other side of the world, the birth of Christ was marked by daylight continuing even after the sun went down. And it came to pass that there was no darkness in all that night, but it was as light as though it was midday. And it came to pass that the sun did rise in the morning again, according to its proper order. And they knew that it was the day that the Lord should be born, because of the sign which had been given. Now, I don't know why I never made this connection before, but during his mortal ministry, Jesus called himself the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness. I don't think it's a coincidence that the birth of the light in the world was marked by 2 miraculous examples of light. It doesn't stop there. During his ministry, Jesus also called himself the life. He said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. And I am the resurrection and the life." To understand the significance here, we actually have to correct a little error in our knowledge about his birth. Jesus was not born on December the 25th. That was chosen as a day to celebrate it, in an effort to find a middle ground between Christians, recent converts, and pagans, so that everyone could be celebrating something on the same day. Kind of like how President's Day is used to celebrate all presidents, though it's held on just Washington's birthday. Anyway, the point here is that Jesus wasn't born in December. He was born in the spring, which is a time of renewed life. It was when the cold of winter that makes plants go dormant and animals hibernate gives way to warmer weather, rainfall, blossoming plants, and animals giving birth. It is a time of life and renewal. So just like the star, I don't think it's just a coincidence that the life of the world was born in the season of life. Now, not only was the time of his birth significant, but so too was the place. Because of the Roman census, Mary and Joseph had to return to Bethlehem, and there are 3 different ways in which Bethlehem serves as a sign of Christ's birth and divine mission. The first is from the fact that Bethlehem was also known as the city of David. You know, David and Goliath, that David, the one who was anointed king even when he was just a young boy. Arguably one of the most famous and significant of Israel's many kings. In the book of Matthew, the very first thing we read is the lineage of Jesus in order to prove that he was descended from the royal lineage of David. So the man who would one day rule as King of Kings and Lord of Lords, born in the city of a king. On top of that, there's something else fascinating about Bethlehem. Nearby are the pools of Solomon. These pools are large reservoirs of water that are nearby the city. Now, there's some dispute over who built them, but fortunately, who built them doesn't really matter for our purposes. What matters is that these pools existed at the time of his birth, and these pools provide water to many nearby areas, including Jerusalem, the holy city and the site of the temple. Now, how interesting is it that the town of Bethlehem provides water to the holy city, especially when we remember that when speaking with the woman at the well, Jesus called himself the living water, and said, "If thou knewest the gift of God, and who it is that saith to thee, Give me to drink, thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. And whosoever drinketh of the water I shall give him shall never thirst, but the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life." The living water was born in a place that provided water. And the last reason, and this one's my favorite, comes from yet another name that Jesus takes during his ministry that has significance with the town of Bethlehem. During one of his sermons, Jesus called himself the bread of life. And like his conversation with the woman at the well, Jesus compared the temporary nature of food and the perpetual existence of hunger with the gospel as a spiritual food that will never leave one feeling empty. If we partake of the bread of life, we will never hunger spiritually again. The name of the city of his birth is Bethlehem. Beth means house, and Lahem means bread. The bread of life was born in the literal house of bread. Pretty cool, huh? So what do you think? Are there other elements of his birth that I missed? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you next time, right here in the foyer.